Hello, everyone. Welcome to Buy Bags. I'll be your reviewer for today. I'm Lonnie from Horror Heaven77, and as you all know, this is we're doing a label week this week, and the label that we're covering is Severin films, and Severin, in my opinion, is a very very good company. I own a bunch of Severin movies, Blu-ray and DVD. I have to admit, if they ever decide to dip their toe into the 4K pond, I probably follow them into that as well. But the movie I'm going to review today is this one. I can't help it. I enjoy this movie. It's definitely got its problems, but I have fun with it. The movie is Dr. Butcher, M.D., Medical Deviant. He's a depraved, sadistic rapist, a bloodthirsty, homicidal killer, and he makes house calls. That's not really true. I mean, this is a great case of like people. Movie fans always talk about how, like they go see a movie poster or a VHS box cover or something like that, and they try to sell the movie a certain way, but then when you go see it, it's really not what you think it's going to be. And that's kind of the case with this. Dr. Butcher, he doesn't really rape anybody. Homicidal killer, yeah, but, there's a method to the madness. Another thing is, though, too, is real quick, the movie was, everybody would remember this, if you bought the Shriek Show DVDs. Everybody else will remember the movie under the title of Zombie Holocaust. Okay, so I just kind of like Dr. Butcher, MD. I don't know. It's just Zombie Holocaust is cool, but still. But anyway, though, it's like, and also too, you might ask, well, how good is this movie? Well, a movie's really, really good when they all come with their very own vomit bags. So that kind of gives you an idea. And the movie does have gore. I will say that. And real quick, I just want to get into the, because we're talking about the label here, I'm going to do a quick review about the movie, just kind of, just a couple of words about that, but then I want to talk about, this edition that Severin has put out. Now, the movie, it's, pretty much, it's a mishmash of different kind of movies. You have, this movie is like part mad scientist movie. This movie is part zombie film. This movie is part jungle cannibal movie, and so you kind of got like all these crazy wild things going on in this movie, and it's a lot of fun. I have fun with this movie. The thing is, I would say it's not really like a sequel to Lucio Fulci's Zombie, but it really does feel like it is connected to Lucio Fulci's movie Zombie. I think because you got several of the actors. Like Ian McCulloch from, Zombie, and some of the other actors that you would remember from Fulci's movie Zombie. You have them in the movie. Let's see here. You have, my God, they even use like the same kind of makeshift church / hospital set that they used, that Richard Johnson was the doctor in Zombie. They even say here on the bonus features, a lot of the movie was shot in around the same locations as Zombie and everything. So it really does almost feel as if this movie is like a sequel to Lucio Fulci's Zombie. It's strange, but it's a good movie, but there is definitely some problems with it. The story revolves around, okay, you start off in this hospital where, apparently like dead bodies are, they keep having organs being taken away. Like somebody comes in, removes a heart from one body, cuts the hand off of another, things like that. And the doctors and the nurses, they're all trying to figure out what's going on here. And you got this one doctor, she's, trying to figure out what's going on. And at the beginning of the movie, it goes nowhere. But at the beginning of the movie, they kind of set up this little thing that you might think that maybe she has something to do with it. But then it's like, like I said, it goes nowhere. It does nothing. It plays no part in the movie really whatsoever. And then she meets this reporter, and then they go to the hospital and they find out that there's this orderly. And this orderly actually belonged to a tribe. And it turns out the tribe is into cannibalism, where we find out that he's the one who's been stealing the body parts and he's eating them. And then when they try to capture him, he jumps out a window. Now, that's why I said this is where the movie has some problems. You could, like when you watch the movie, and here's the, maybe if I saw this on VHS, on like a older model TV, it might have looked better. But here's the problem: I watched this movie on Blu-ray on my 65-inch 4K TV. When there are flaws in the effects, you're definitely going to notice it. There are like parts where you see like they're cutting off body parts and everything else. It looks like they're cutting through Play-Doh, like somebody made like a Play-Doh hand. and like they're just cutting through a Play-Doh hand. That's what it looks like. Or, in the case of when the guy jumps out the window, you could clearly see that it's a dummy. And then the funny part is when the dummy hits the ground, one of the arms flies completely off. But then in the next shot, when they run out to see the guy laying dead on the ground, he's still got his arms. So that part was really funny. There's a lot of plot holes in this movie. So anyway, so they go to an investigator played by Ian McCulloch from Zombie, and you could almost say it's almost like because the character's name is Peter, same as the character was in Fulci's Zombie. So it almost feels as if, Ian McCulloch's playing the same character that he did in Fulci's Zombie. That's why I'm saying this movie does feel like a sequel to that movie. So they decide, kind of like Zombie, well, this weird thing happened. We need to go to this island to find out what's going on. Okay, it turns out, well, all right. So they go to this island. There's a doctor there. Turns out the doctor is involved with experiments, with zombies and stuff like that. So so the idea is he's going to send them to another island. And then, the problem is the motor overheats, and they said, well, let's go to this island. And it turns out that the doctor was trying to send them to another island to divert them so that, they won't catch on to what's going on with the zombies and the jungle cannibals and things like that. And they get to this island, and then all chaos ensues. And then, they gotta try to figure out how they're going to get out of this whole situation. And of course there's a lot of gore. It's an Italian movie. So, some of the effects look kind of, but some of the effects look really good. It's like, there's a lot of blood, a lot of disembowelment, jungle cannibals eating, intestines and things like that, eyeballs, it can't be an Italian horror movie if you don't have violence against people's eyeballs and stuff like that. So, it's that kind of movie. And then there are just some parts in the movie that doesn't make sense. Like, no, I don't want to get too much into it because, I'm going to end up spoiling the movie. But ultimately, we find out that the doctor who sent them to the island, this is the one spoiler I'll give away, is that the doctor who sent them to the island, it turns out the reason there are zombies is because the doctor is performing brain experiments that end up creating the zombies. And, so it's like, and he's kind of getting the jungle cannibals to help him in capturing people so that he can do experiments on them and so on and so forth. And, that's pretty much all I'm going to say. I'm not going to get into any more of this. It's like, I think that's enough. That's more than enough, honestly. So here we go. But, this movie, I think it's a lot of fun. There's a lot of, it's very, very campy, but in a fun way. There's a lot of gore in it. If you love gore, you're going to love this. There's a lot of, there's some good nudity in it. The actress is Alexandra Delli Colli. And she was the one who... if you remember the movie New York Ripper, she was the actress from that movie where she was the one who was going to sex shows and doing all kinds of kinky things and recording certain things, on a tape recorder so that she could give to her husband so that he can get his jollies and stuff like that. So it's that actress, and she looks stunning. She's amazingly beautiful, looks great naked. All that kind of stuff. So, you got all that going for you if you're into that kind of thing. But, but the movie is a lot of fun. But the doctor doesn't rape anybody. He does kill, but, But this movie it's a lot of fun. It's got a lot of, it's got some plot holes that there are going to be some scenes in the movie you're going to be like, how the hell did that happen? Or how did this person do this? Or how did that happen? So there is some things like that. But overall, it's a lot of fun. And I really enjoy this movie. I would say give it a watch and check it out. Okay, so now we're going to talk about the presentation here. I think this is pretty cool. I mean, I've already showed you some stuff, right? I mean, I showed you that, it's 2-disc set. So you got you got your vomit bag. I've already showed that, right? So you got your 2 discs here, and you got the movie under both of its titles. You got this one here, Dr. Butcher MD. Then you got the movie on the second disc as Zombie Holocaust, which it's exactly the same movie. It's just the opening credit sequence is a little different. But, as you can see, like I showed here, this is really cool because you get the reversible slipcover. Like I said, I just prefer Dr. Butcher MD. Zombie Holocaust is cool, but I just prefer Dr. Butcher MD. But anyway, so, and the movie, it's stunningly beautiful. It looks fantastic. Like I said, it's so crystal clear and sharp. And like I said, I watched it on my 65-inch 4K TV. So it's like, the detail was astounding. I don't know if this movie's ever looked this good. I never saw it when it was on the. I know it was the Shriek Show DVD, and it was just under the title Zombie Holocaust, and I never owned that edition, so I couldn't really tell you the difference between, this or that, whether that one was better or this one is better. I'm pretty sure probably this one is better, but the picture quality is astounding. I mean, it's that's what I love is when they do these transfers, is when they take an old movie that for the most part always got like really just lackluster releases, just crappy VHS rips onto a DVD or something like that, and then just give them the most horrible releases and stuff and put them like at $5 DVDs and stuff, and but then like these companies like something like Severin will get a hold of them, or Vinegar Syndrome, or whoever, they'll get a hold of them, and they make these movies look astounding. They make them look like like this movie was made yesterday, and this movie looks so good. And like I said, just the biggest downside to that, though, is like I said, when it comes to the effects, it does show like if there are some effects that don't look as good as they should, or they're kind of flawed, you're going to notice it here. You got a lot of bonus features on both. See, look at that. All those are bonus features, man. Look at all that. Unfortunately, no audio commentary, but still, look at all that stuff you get on there. You get, oh my God. You got Butchery and Ballyhoo interview with Terry Levine from Aquarious releasing. Down on the Deuce, nostalgic tour of 42nd Street with Chris Pugliali. I'm sorry if I butchered the name. From Temple of Shock and filmmaker Roy Frumkes. Tales that will tear your heart out. Roy Frumkes' segment of unfinished anthology film. The Butcher Mobile interview with Gore Gazette editor and Butcher Mobile barker Rick Sullivan. Cutting Dr. Butcher interview with editor Jim Markovic. Illustrated essay experiments with a male Caucasian Brian and other memories of 42nd Street by Gary Hertz. Theatrical and video trailers. Now on disc 2, it's Zombie Holocaust, and it says, okay, you got Voodoo Man interview with star Ian McCulloch. You got Blood of the Zombies interview with effects master Rosario Prestopino, I hope that's right. Neurosurgery Italian style interview with effects artist Maurizio Trani. Filmmaker Enzo G. Castorelli remembers his father, director Marino Girolami. Interview with actress Cheryl Buchanan. New York locations, then versus now. A look at the Big Apple locales as they are today. Ian McCulloch sees Down by the River and theatrical trailers. So, I mean, you get chock full of bonus features here, and I think that this is great. I mean, Severin is definitely a company that I totally support. They do a lot of great stuff. And like I said, that's kind of one of their biggest things. Like, I mean, Scream Factory is doing really good in the sense that they're getting a lot of studio quality movies, and they're giving those like the big, great collector's editions and releases. I mean, we just found out like they're putting Stephen King's Graveyard Shift out on Blu-ray. They're going to be putting Tales from the Dark Side, the movie. They got all kinds of great stuff coming out. But what companies like Severin do is they take movies that most people would never even give a second glance. Stuff that like movies that seriously are just barely lucky enough to get a DVD release. And usually when they do, it's those public domain, like really bad, like $5 movies or releases. Not so much the movies. Some of the movies are really good. Some of the, but just the releases are really lackluster. And then they give them, the real treatment. They treat these, they take a movie like Dr. Butcher MD and they treat it just like they would, like Lawrence of Arabia. They treat it with that kind of respect and give it that kind of dignity. And they treat it like it's the most important movie ever. And that's what I love about Severin Films, and that's why I support them. They took one of my favorite, I admit when I was a kid growing up, it's like, before internet and stuff like that, I admit I was a kid who, I shouldn't have been doing it, but in my teenage years, I'd spend some Friday nights watching, Skinamax After Dark, and they even put some of those movies out. One of the ones I recall most is Joy and Joan with French goddess Brigitte Leahy, and they gave that a DVD release. By the way, Severin, if you ever want to give that a Blu-ray or especially a 4K release, you already got one person who's going to buy it. Anyway, though, that being said, no, but honestly, Severin is a great company. Oh my God, they do such good work. David Gregory, he knocks it out of the ballpark every time, and I can't recommend it. And this movie, like I said, it's a lot of fun. It's really gory. But like I said, it does have some plot holes in the story, and like I said, the high definition isn't exactly the best thing for for the effects, but beyond that, it's a lot of fun. I have a lot of fun watching this movie because, like I said, you get mad scientist movie mixed with a cannibal jungle movie mixed with zombies. So I mean, there you go. As an Italian horror fan, what more could you want? You get all pretty much. You get the whole smorgasbord into one movie. So I would say definitely, yeah, give this one a go if you haven't already. It's really good. So anyway, so that's pretty much going to do it. So I hope everybody enjoyed the video, and if you did, please like. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the Body Bags channel. We have a different reviewer for every day of the week. We have one guy doing different reviews. I'm the Saturday reviewer, and everybody's doing really good stuff. We're having fun. We're doing we're doing label reviews like this. We got our next theme coming up, which is killer animals, I believe. So that's going to be a lot of fun. So please, tune in and check us out. So everybody, take care. Have a good night, and I'll see you later.